Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Nickel City Mafia post-game show. This is the Nickel City Mafia Rush Hour show. Typically, I am joined by my co-host Mike Thornton. He is not with us tonight, but I am joined myself, Jake Podger, joined by Sean Kula, who is a part of our channel as well, and we will be breaking down the unfortunate loss to the Miami Dolphins, the embarrassing loss, I should say. But, at the same time, they're pros too. Trying to be positive any way I possibly can, but it's hard to find positivity in this one, Sean. It's insane what a difference a week can make. Last week at this time, you and I were both here in my basement in my man cave, getting all excited, and we were 6-2, feeling great, coming off a big win against the Kansas City Chiefs, and today, what a totally different story. We laid an egg against a 2-7 Miami Dolphins team that came out and just seemed to want it a little bit more. And that was quoted by apparently 3 to 4 players in the Buffalo Bills suggesting the same thing. So I don't know where to go from here, but how we doing tonight, brother? Can you give me some therapy?
Well, I was going to say, first off, emphasis on the rush hour part of the
yeah. Let's get this done.
Show. But
take our licks and get out.
Wow, there's just so many things, not just the game, but it goes back to, Brandon Beane going on the podium and saying, "Oh, I'm just as mad as any fan." And first of all, that's a lie, because, just using your dad as an example, he's probably been a fan for what, 40 plus years. There's no way that a GM of 8 years is more mad than a fan that's, seen it all. You know what I mean? So I hate when he says stuff like that. And then to find out that Miami would have sent you Jalen Waddle. All you had to do was give up a 2026 first round pick instead of a 2027, and Beane said no. So then he did that, and then went on the podium and said that he's just as mad as anyone else. Well, no, clearly not, because you would have made that move. And then you fast forward to the game, and issues that have been happening since last year are still happening. You still got coaches and players and Beane going on podium saying how great everything is, and, how things could quickly turn around, and like, how many wake-up calls do you need? You know what I mean? Because when we lost to New England, it was a wake-up call. Lost to Atlanta, it was a wake-up call. And all of a sudden, you win 2 games in a row, now you're in a wake-up call again. So there's just so many things to get into. But yeah, this was devastating.
Yeah, brutal, man. 30-13 loss, Buffalo Bills going down to Miami, and the Miami Heat of what was it, 92 degrees today. It just seemed like we were like lethargic right from the get-go. There just was no, there was initial energy, it felt like. That first series, Cole Bishop gets an interception, and I think the initial first play was a run to James Cook. We gained 6 yards, and then we ended up going 3 and out still, and I think that right away, that's such a momentum killer. Do you think that has had, I feel like that's been like a reoccurring theme too with this team. I don't know. That's just had like a common effect on how our games have gone. In all of our losses, I feel like it's kind of been the case where we've gone 3 and out, or maybe we get a great stop on our initial defensive series, or there's a potential play that could have happened, and then suddenly that air that's in that balloon just gets deflated somehow. So do you find that to be the case with all of our losses too?
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, you mentioned how multiple players, even Josh, said they wanted it more. And it's like, that's a major issue. If you're 6-2 and you're in line to compete for the 1 seed in your division also as well, and you go to a team that you owned for 16, well, you're 14-2 in your last 16 games against them, and they're 2-7. They didn't have 2 of their best pass rushers today. Their best corner was out. They're just awful. They fired their GM, and they haven't looked good since they played the Falcons like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So then all of a sudden you hear, yeah, they wanted it more. Why would a 2-7 team want it more than a 6-2 team that has Super Bowl hopes? That's a real deep rooted issue that I hope that's just player talk. Like, oh yeah, we lost. They just wanted it more. Like, I hope that's just what it is. But if that's truly a mindset, I think that's a really huge problem. But yeah, you started the game out. We actually threw the ball first, and Allen had all day in the pocket. Nobody was open, so he rolled out. Then he found Keon wide open, and then I have to go back and rewatch it. But I know he got one hand on it, so I can't remember if it was just a bad throw or if Keon just dropped it. And then we go throw an 8-yard pass to Cook, 1 yard run by Cook, and then we punt it. Now, in that situation, Allen and all them wanted to go for it. Maybe you give them that opportunity. It's just 1 yard, right? How many times is Cook and Allen going to fail getting 1 yard? So then I think you don't do that. You punt it away. They score on a 98-yard touchdown drive. And like you said, I think it kind of sucks the life out of you because you came off of an interception, then a 3-and-out. So, I think that definitely plays a role in it for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, let's go to the chat here. I see Brett out there going off. Yeah, terrible performance today, 100%. Trek Reviewer, good to see you, brother. Want to talk about your boy Cam Lewis's performance a little bit today. I know there was a big missed tackle that he had, and obviously Jordan Poyer had an opportunity to make a play too on Achane's long 59-yard touchdown run. Actually, Mike, our guy Mike Thornton, sent me some images from this. I can actually share them with you here. It's kind of interesting when you look at the stills of them all. Let's see if I can share all of them. Actually, let's take a look. Wondering if I could maybe I'll just upload them as I go. But anyways, yeah, just talking about that. Yeah, Cam had a tough. I thought he had some really, really good plays, but on that particular play, your boy missed a great opportunity at making a potential touchdown saving tackle there. But hate to see it. I thought overall he actually had a pretty damn good game though today. Filled in very well for Taron Johnson. Yeah, this team has a leadership issue and it's on full display. I would agree with that, Brett. I don't know what it is too with Josh, like on the sidelines. I don't want to be too critical of Josh. Like, I feel like he played his ass off. He really tried to rally the team, just with his play. But there's just like this, and I know he tries to stay even keel on the sidelines, but we're missing that fire a little bit. And I feel like we were saying this 2 years ago when we had Dorsey as the OC too. He just looks like drained. He looks neutered. Like there's something going on there, and maybe we're reading too much into it, but like, is there anything to that, Sean? You think there's something like mentally, like, is he checked out?
Well, he's had two famous quotes this offseason. One of them is, "I'm more than a football player, and winning isn't everything." And those are, the second thing was the one thing I never thought I'd hear Josh Allen say, but I thought it was a lie too, but multiple people said that happened. And then Deion Dawkins also doubled down on that and said winning isn't everything. This was after we had a 2-game losing streak. So that killer mindset's not there. They're basically just saying, oh, yeah, you can't win them all, so it's okay that we lose. And I don't like that because hearing your highest paid player, the best quarterback in the league almost, if not, he's a top 3 at least, no matter how much you want to argue, saying that winning isn't everything, that's crazy. And, then he's showing it on the field. And even though his stats are up from last year, it doesn't feel the same. It feels way worse than last year, even though all of his numbers are up. And as soon as the game started, what I kind of felt wasn't going to work out well was when the broadcast said, yeah, we talked to Joe Brady, and he said, we got to force feed Keon Coleman. It's my fault that he's not doing that well. And then you saw we forced him on the first drive, went 3-and-out. Forced him on the second drive, went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. And you saw throughout the game, we're just force feeding Keon Coleman. And there was a point where Shakir and Kincaid didn't even have one target. And then we're not moving the ball. And, like with the neutered stuff, like I think it's like to a point, I feel like Allen didn't, he said we decided this offense together. I told him what I like, what we don't like. But then now it's like when it happens, he doesn't want to say anything. Like if something's going wrong, he just wants to roll with it and doesn't want to, this isn't going to work. Let's do this instead. And, I just think Josh maybe, I'm not going to say it's like winning MVP last year kind of, makes him think too much this year. But you can definitely see by the play that maybe something deep rooted is going on. You got McDermott talking about, the pass game has to be better. You got Josh Allen. There's no reason why you can't move the ball. Then you got other people saying it's McDermott's style offense and McDermott wants to offense like this. But then, it's always been it's going back to Brady. McDermott wants it better. Allen seems dejected. I think Brady's just doesn't know how to get these guys schemed open.
Yeah, and it sucks too because I like Brady. I do. I like him as a coach. I like him as a person and stuff. And I feel like he's called some good games, but there just seems to be like a point where he's either overthinking things or he's trying to get too cute, and he doesn't continue to stick with what works. And it really hinders us in the long run. And you've noticed it, like when we can't run the football, we typically can't throw the football after that very well. I mean, you have to set up the pass with the run, and we just couldn't do that at all either.
Yeah.
I feel like it was, and at times it is. It's 100% predictable. But I also love when we are having success with something, it's like we're going to run this play until you can stop us too, And sometimes we just make it so much more difficult on ourselves than we need to. And it starts up top with Brady and his play calling. I think there's an issue there. I think there's just an inconsistency that needs to be addressed, and we got to get back to what works. And I know, like on the outside, these receivers are not creating great separation or anything like that. And it was very evident today. I mean, Josh is running around for his life out there, just running scramble drill, trying to make something happen. At some point, one of these corners is going to break off. I think it's even more alarming when you have guys like Ethan Bonner out there who, are these backup corners, and we can't complete passes. I mean, what's going on? It's not great. Definitely does not look good. So
yeah, definitely. And this game, like I don't know about the other games. I'm really just thinking about this one right now. But this game specifically, I'm looking extra forward to looking at the all 22 because I don't know if it was just the receivers weren't getting open, because there was a next gen stat out there that on average Allen had 3.5 seconds in the pocket. On average, that means he had 5 seconds. It means he had 6 seconds. It means he had 2 seconds. But 2.5 is elite. If you get 3.5 on average, the offensive line was whooping their ass. And pass blocking they were, and there was no answer. And then maybe Allen goes off of guys too quickly. Maybe he's zooming through his progressions way too fast, and by the time he goes back, nobody's open anymore. Maybe as soon as he looks off of Samuel, he gets open, but then he's already looking at Shakir, but he's not open. So he tries to go back to Samuel, and then he's not open. So a lot of it probably could be Josh Allen in his own mind, but you can't see that on the TV view during the game. But when you see a stat like he had 3.5 seconds on average to throw the football, that's ridiculous. And you only scored 13 points. Now, again, we turned the ball over twice in scoring position, and then Allen fumbled it at the 50 when, he got 20 yards on a tush push. So obviously things could have still been different, but even the announcer's been saying it. When last week Kincaid played 21 snaps and 18 of them were pass plays. So now everyone knows, Kincaid's in the field, 9 times out of 10 it's a pass play. Kincaid's off the field, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna run the football. So it doesn't matter how good your offensive line is or how good your tight ends are blocking. 9 times out of 10 they know what you're going to do, and it's easier to prepare. Obviously, the offense knows what they're going to do, but when you're sending run blitzes and they know where you like to run, I don't think we even ran counter plays. Like, we were running counters a lot last week, a lot of stretch plays last week. It seemed like we were just going gap and maybe a toss here and there, and nothing was. I mean, we had a couple good runs. Cook had a great run, and then he fumbled it. But it's like you said, inconsistent play calling. Maybe Josh not seeing the field the best, as good as he always usually does last year and years before. But it just seems like whenever we lose, it's a really, really ugly, disgusting game.
Yeah, that's so well put. I feel like you look at all of our losses this year, and that's just been the case. We just didn't show up. We were lethargic right from the get-go, and you just kind of have a feeling like, this is not going to end well. And that's exactly how I felt all game today. I mean, there was never a moment where we were even leading in this game. It just, right from the get-go, we're playing from behind 16 points at the half, and it took us still a fourth quarter to even put points up on the board. Awful.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I know we can talk a little bit about defense, but I feel like majority is offense and coaching this week. But the defense held them to 16 points for 3 quarters, And yeah, I see a lot of people hyping up A-Chain, saying he 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, he killed Buffalo. He honestly didn't do anything until the game was over. Like when it was 16-6, yeah, he broke out a nice run and it was 23-6. The game was over at that point. And then he scored his other touchdown on a big run, but he didn't have he should have slid and took the ball at the one. They could have ran the clock out and need it, but he wanted to really put a dagger in Buffalo. Anyone else would have slid there and maybe wasted the clock just to be safe. But so I'm not going to kill the defense. They were severely injured. They held them to 16 points for 3 quarters. If you can't score at all in the first 3 quarters, that's all on offense. I don't blame the defense in the 90-degree heat, severely injured. Daquan Jones got out the first play. Landon Jackson got hurt in the second drive. Trey White's out of the game here and there. And you were already down multiple starters.
Yep.
So it's like the defense did all they could. They got 2 interceptions too. Yeah, they didn't get sacks.
I agree.
They didn't get sacks, but yeah, they did whatever they could. So I don't care about those last 2 touchdowns. I don't think it was A-Chain dominated the Bills. The game was over. And maybe that 23-6 one, maybe you could say that was a dagger, but honestly, the way we play, I don't think even if we didn't give up a touchdown there, we wouldn't have won the football game.
Yeah, I mean, they had 16 points going into the fourth quarter. There's no reason why the Buffalo Bills couldn't have put up 16 points as well. And we had opportunities.
Before they scored again. So it wasn't even like the beginning of the fourth. We gave up another touchdown.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want before we go back to the offense and coaching. I don't know if you want to talk about defense more, but
yeah,
I thought they did more than enough. Again, we were severely injured. Bosa had one hand, and we were missing Oliver Hoyt, Benford, Taron Johnson, and you lost Daquan Jones again. You lost Landon Jackson. So it was just a mess out there.
Mm-hmm. I do want to talk about Maxwell Hairston a little bit. Obviously led up the touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle. It was a hell of a throw and catch. I think, Hairston gets beat on that play, but the recovery was really impressive to me. I mean, at the very end there, he's draped all over him, doing as much as he can to try to still make a play. And that, to me, showed enough. And then he goes out and gets an interception towards the end of the game, obviously. I really like this kid a lot. I'm super encouraged by his play. So that was definitely one bright spot I saw. I think, Bosa had a nice day today. I think Cole Bishop, another solid showing from him as well. Trey White actually had a couple nice plays. He had tackle for a loss, and I know he was in and out of the game a little bit. But, it is tough. I mean, when you're dealing with a banged-up defense like we are, you got to go up against the speed in the 92-degree heat. There's a lot going on there. And, like you said, Sean, it's like 16 points. I mean, the offense has to do more here. You got to help your defense out. They're battered as it is. I don't put this loss on the defense whatsoever.
No, not at all. I know people well, and I know it's going to look like, you give up another 170-yard rushing game. But again, probably 85 of those 90 of those yards were those last 2 touchdowns, and they didn't mean anything anyway. The game was over. So I'll defend the defense this week. But yeah, it's just I feel like there's always so much to say. There's so much that happened the last couple of weeks, and it's just funny because I've seen a couple channels make videos like, if you're complaining about not making a move, you guys just need to shut the F up. You're being a bunch of babies, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this game was a perfect example of why you need to make at least something happen. Maybe it doesn't have to be get Jalen Waddle, but we're severely injured on multiple spots. And now Kincaid's going to be out for over a month probably with a hamstring injury. You're down Hoyt, you're down Oliver, you're down Taylor Rapp. Now you got Jordan Poyer and Jordan Phillips playing significant snap share. I know Poyer's been good, but when you got Poyer and Jordan Phillips playing with a good amount of snaps on defense, you have a damn problem. And they felt we didn't need to do anything, and now you get more injuries. And that was mainly my thing. Yeah, you may not need anyone right this second, but damn well we're going to have injuries. Damn well Bernard, Benford, and Matt Milano are not going to be in the playoffs. They're going to get hurt either in the wild card game or the game before that, and they're not going to be here. Now, the weird thing is the linebacking core is better when Bernard and Milano aren't on the field, which is weird.
I wanted to bring that up
because Bernard, the last 2 years before this one, Bernard was a absolute rock star out there, and I'm glad that Milano. I mean, Milano's one of my favorite players. He sucks. Like he's past his time. He needs to get off the field. And Shaq Thompson's been hurt. But, yeah, it's just this is why I really wanted to make something happen. Either get another edge rusher, get another linebacker. But, we're bad for complaining about wanting to make the team better. Not that we can't be a good team, but you should always want to make your team better. So I never got that side of the coin where people are attacking other fans for being mad at Brandon Beane for not making a move. And this game kind of highlights it. And, hopefully it's a long plane ride home for Brandon Beane. He can, they can really hope that 2026 first round pick next year is going to be a Hall of Famer. Because he didn't want to give it up for Waddle. So
no pettiness at all in that comment. I absolutely love it. Yeah. The linebacker play with Milano and Bernard has definitely been really bad. Just like not up to the standard that we're used to seeing. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's especially with Bernard, he's the young and upcoming guy. Like he was supposed to take another step, and whether it's injuries or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems like now he's not as he's just not around the ball as much as he was last year. And yeah, there's just something going on there. I don't love it. It's crazy to say that Shaq Thompson and Dorian Williams are the best linebacking core on this team. And unfortunately, Shaq Thompson was out of this game. Dorian played a little bit, but not a ton, and you hate to see it. But again, we talk about not really putting this whole thing on the defense because the offense, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot. They turned the ball over in bad ways. And I know they were on effort plays on those fumbles, but man, we just got to be better. And, I just want to go to some of the comments here. I know a lot of the folks out here, we appreciate you guys all joining, by the way. Bills Are Electric, I had brought this up. He said, what was that today? Why do we still have Brady designing the offensive scheme and calling the plays? And you're right. I mean, I think Brady is a good play caller. He just hasn't put it on display. And whether he's holding back or just overthinking things, he needs to figure it out. He's got to get his head out of his ass. And I know he's tried to take some of the blame, even with Keon Coleman and getting him involved the right way in this stuff. But God, man, like we have some good weapons on this team that are proven weapons. Let's use those guys first. Then we can worry about Keon Coleman and some of those other guys. And I get it. You're trying to prove a point that he's worth that second round pick. But at a certain point, you got to just throw that out and get back to the basics. And we just didn't do that today whatsoever.
One of my friends said something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, is it time for a coaching change? I mean, I know a lot of people are feeling it, but we'll see at the end of the season.
I don't think there's any. That's the sad part. I don't know if anybody is better than Brady that could call plays right now for us. So you might as well just keep what's been consistent for a year and a half, and Dayball's going to probably get fired tonight. Maybe we could bring him back and be the OC, or something. But one of my buddies said something funny because I was talking to him about it. I was like, none of this makes sense. But he's like, yeah, well, Keon can't separate from my grandmother, and then all you do is throw screen passes to Shakir. That's your entire offense. And it's like, it's kind of true. I mean,
yep, it is.
We talk about speed a lot, right? Moore's fast, Shakir's fast, Samuel's fast. So it just doesn't it doesn't compute in my mind that none of those three can ever get open consistently. So it's either the play calling or Allen going through reads too fast. But like all you do, everyone knows, like Shakir gets 7 catches a game, 4 or 5 of them are screen passes. Yeah, he's good at them, but let him go out for a slant, let him go out for out routes, let him do a crosser with Elijah Moore. Do something that can use your speed. You saw it last year in the what's it called, in the Rams game. We were down by like 2, it was like 16, I can't remember, but they threw a crosser to Shakir. He bounced off a guy and ran it for 70 yards for a touchdown and got us back in the game. Like, yeah, Shakir can do screen passes, but that's all really done with them this year. Like, you got to be more creative. And then with the Keon thing, all you do is you throw him these back shoulder plays that he's not ready for, or you throw him 50-50 balls at his stomach, and then he's not hasn't been that great either. But there's been times on the tape where he's getting open. So, I don't want to just blame it all on Josh not seeing the field, but it just there's worse players in the league that get open. Like these again, I don't want to just hate on the Patriots, but Kayshon Boutte's not that great. Kyle Williams isn't that great. Just the only person that's really got any talent is Diggs. But these guys get open because,
dude, Matt Collins had over 100 yards today.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a baller with us a little bit, so
I know I love Matt Collins, but it's just again, would Matt Collins? I mean, he would have made a difference today, probably, right?
Yeah, but
crazy.
So I know Drake May's getting a lot of credit over there, but Josh McDaniels is the one that's scheming these guys open, using their speed and being able, because all these throws are wide open that he's making. Allen gets some wide open throws too, but everything shouldn't be this difficult. So whether it's Brady, whether it's Allen not seeing the field, but as a coaching staff and as a team, they need to get together and be like, okay, this isn't working the way it is. If we want to be good, we gotta simply just change things. You can't just keep doing the same stuff that's not working. And I know it was a bad game, but now this is the third bad game of the year, or the third bad game we lost. I mean, we've probably had more bad games if you want to be picky. But now you lost 2 games to 2 teams that are 3-7 and 3-6. Last year we didn't lose to bad teams. And I know I'm going to cut the rain off after this, but before the season started, I don't remember if it was preseason or right before the season started, but I mentioned, whether it was to you guys or to a friend, I can't remember. Last year we only had 6 turnovers on offense. 6 Josh Allen interceptions. That's it.
Yep.
No running back fumbles, no receiver fumbles, no Allen fumbles, no tight end fumbles. Now we got Allen fumbles, Allen interceptions, Cook fumbles, Coleman fumbles, Knox fumbles, and then we're not getting turnovers on defense a lot. Yeah, we got 2 today, but we had a 30. We had the highest turnover differential in the league last year. It was plus 30, and I didn't think I knew we'd have few turnovers this year, but the same production wasn't going to be sustainable. And now we're not turning the ball over way more than we're not turning it over, and we're turning over too much. And it's been awful.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Yeah, and you can't win football games that way, unfortunately. It's just not going to happen, even against 2-7 Dolphins team. Yeah, Trey, you said it perfectly here. I think the reason Bills Mafia is so dejected too is this was the easy part of the schedule. Yeah. I mean, I had the Bills. I want to say I had the Bills at this point at 9-0, maybe 8-1. And they're 6-3 right now, second in the division, 2 games behind the Patriots at 8-2. So we got to wake up. And now we have a 5-game stretch where it is really going to determine how our season is going to shape up. Whether we actually even make the playoffs, Sean. There's a real opportunity for this team to just maybe scoot in as the 7 seed or miss the playoffs altogether. So, and I don't think that's going to happen. That's the good part, at least, because we do have Josh Allen. I still feel like this is always going to be a playoff caliber team because we have him. But you keep losing games like this, you can kiss that right away. Yeah. And this is one you just got to take and throw out the window. I mean, watch the film. Don't do what you did today at all, please. And get back to the basics, man. Stop overthinking things. Stop making things complicated. You talk about, Sank mentions it here too, just, talking about the Rams and Lions games. And, you saw a lot more crossers and nub routes and rub routes and stuff like that. And we're not seeing any of that either. I feel like it's just so basic. And where is Curtis Samuel, by the way, too? I mean, we're paying him a lot of money to play football for this team. Yeah. Haven't seen any of him.
They make that one crazy play where I was like, oh, great, Allen's going to run 30 yards backwards, take another sack again. Everyone's going to play.
Yeah, right.
And then he made that play. I was like, I think that was the drive Cook fumbled. Or Allen threw the pick in the end zone.
Threw a pick. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Greg said, flush it. The sun's going to be up, get on the horse the next day. And I agree. But like you mentioned, there's a lot of tough games left. And last year we didn't have these games. I don't count week 18 when we lost to the Patriots, but we didn't lose to bad teams last year. We lost to the Ravens, we lost to the Texans, and we lost to the Rams. And we could have won the Rams game. We could have even won the Texans game, even though we played as bad as we did. The only game we really got whooped was that Ravens game. And then now
Yeah.
this year, you lose to the crappy. The Patriots aren't bad, but you lost to the Patriots when you basically gave them the game. You lost to the crappy Falcons. You lost to the crappy Dolphins. And
By 2
I'm not,
scores, by the way.
yeah, I'm not, again,
3 scores in this one.
We're not going to take away anything from the Dolphins. We're just talking about our team, but obviously
Sure.
it was a great win by the Dolphins. Congratulations, and they should enjoy it, and they deserve to enjoy it. So that's out of the way. Now we can just talk bad about our team and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Houston's got the best defense in the league. Tampa Bay's going to have everybody back that's been hurt the whole year. At least they're going to have Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin back. They didn't have Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, or like 3 of their offensive linemen today. And yeah, I'm not taking it away from the Patriots, but it sucks now that we play them. They're going to have a lot of their weapons back, and they just lost the heartbreaker to the Patriots, so they're not going to want to lose again. Their division's tight, with the Panthers and everything. So you lose those 2 games, you're 6-5. You got Pittsburgh, you still got the Eagles, you got the Patriots again, and you got the Browns who got a great defense, and you got the Bengals who put up 40 points a game. And Burrow might be back by then. So if you keep fooling around and saying other teams want it more than you do, and you can't learn from losses, like I thought after the Falcons loss, after the bye, you win 2 great games in a row. I thought, oh yeah, they're back to their old self, and now they're back to getting smoked by a crappy team, and now they're like, yeah, they want it more than we did. This should never be a thing, and you shouldn't even admit that.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's a bad thing to say.
I hate to say, like David said, the locker room issues, and I don't even think it's a hot take. He said it's a hot take, but it might be a real thing. And that's unfortunate because we spent all this time building this culture, and the team is built off of that culture. And now people are just, a crappy team wanted it more than we did. It doesn't make sense. That can't even register in my mind how a team that is fighting for a Super Bowl and can't get to one doesn't want to win a game more than a team that season ended last week, and they got fired their GM. They're going to fire they're probably going to fire their coach. They're going to get a new quarterback next year or the year after. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's wild. And I'm hoping, like you said, it's just player talk, just, basically saying the old cliche statement like they wanted it more in that sense, right? But hey, I appreciate everyone out there in the chat, by the way. I'm trying to get to all of you out here. I'm the worst when it comes to this, so I do apologize. I know I'm getting to some of these pretty late. David, appreciate you with the comments. I see you all out there. By the way, I want to bring this one up here. Yankees 271B. Thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you. My head's going to explode. I've heard this a few times, and it always feels good. Me and Josh do weigh the same amount. Problem is he's about 5 inches taller than me. And, while he isn't like the most trim human being, definitely more trim than I am. But I absolutely love that. Appreciate you, brother. Great stuff. Yeah, it was a bad day, as Greg said. I think this is the one you just got to flush it fast, get back on that horse, and you got to come out and win this game against Tampa this upcoming week. Who would have thought how important this game would be and how important these next few games would be? At this point, I feel like a lot of us felt like the division would have been wrapped up. We could have clinched this in week 9, but the Patriots are a much better team than a lot of people initially had them. And, here we are. So we're just going to have to take every game 1 week at a time, as cliche as that sounds.
Yeah. So, I don't like looking too far ahead, but just thinking about it, like we're probably going to be a 5th seed. I'm going to assume Baltimore is going to win the division, and we're going to have to go to Baltimore. If you're lucky enough to beat Baltimore, you're either going to go to Denver, go to Indianapolis, or go to New England. And obviously, I would feel better about going to New England because it's a common opponent, and we already lost to them. But I don't feel confident with the way this team has played for 9 weeks, where you can go to Baltimore, beat them, go to Indianapolis, beat them, and then beat whoever you play in the championship. So I don't even know if I'm confident if we play any team at home and win. But it's just, I'm not going to be mad at people if they feel like the season might be done. It's definitely not over because technically you're 6-3. You're still in the playoffs. You got winnable games coming up. You're still a good team, but the performance that they put out and a few of the performances we put out, I don't blame people for thinking we might lose the next 3 games and be 6-5 or 6-6. That's entirely possible. And, I say it kind of jokingly every year, but we literally alternate 11-6 and 13-4 every year since 2019, except there was 16 games for a couple of years, but 10-6 in 2019, 13-3 in 2020, 11-6 in 2021, 13-4 in 2022, 11-6 in 2023, 13-4 last year. Now we're on pace to go 11-6 again, and it's funny, but it just happens that way. I don't know if it's like we change things up and then it works, and then we stick with the same shit the next year. Everyone figures it out. I don't know what it's weird, but 11-6 year could be possible, but you're not winning the division at 11-6.
Yeah, no, and you're not. You're definitely not. Mike asking, has anyone snagged Quandre Diggs? And no, he just got released by the Titans like a couple days ago, and he's still a free agent. That would definitely be an interesting signing.
But we don't need.
He's a veteran guy.
So we're good.
What's that?
Brandon Beane said we're good. We don't need to get.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we don't need any help. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we brought Kingsley Jonathan in for a workout. That's all we really need.
Yeah. No, Quandre Diggs still out there, Mike. Yeah. Would be a good signing, I think. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? Could not hurt.
Definitely wouldn't make it worse.
Former Pro Bowl guy. I mean, his past years, his best years are probably behind him, but gosh, it would certainly help in a way, I would think.
Especially with all the injuries we got. But
definitely.
Yeah, David's comment here. Is it possible Josh is actually showing signs of regression? I hate to say that. I mean, it's been 8 seasons, so I don't want to say that, but maybe small signs. And nobody could tell you that you're an idiot. That's for sure. They could say the only thing you can say is that's a possibility. That's a great point because the protection's there. There's way worse receivers in the league getting open, and he's just. But the weird part is his stats are all up from last year, except for the turnover. Like the interceptions are up, obviously, but his completion percentage is higher. His yards are higher. His touchdowns are higher at this point last year. So it seems like he's worse this year than last year, but his numbers are up. So it's really weird. But I don't know how you feel about that, Jake. I mean, maybe it's a few game skid of regression. Maybe he didn't actually regress. Maybe he's just in his head and he's just having a bad couple games. But what do you think?
I think we're seeing some of those bad habits kind of return a little bit. The deer in the headlights, the forcing throws, at times trying to do too much. And it's not really always his fault, but there are some moments that pop up in my head. It's like missing some of these open throws. And I think people are so afraid to criticize Josh because he does have the weight of the world on his shoulders, essentially, right? Like this is the year that we're supposed to go out and win the Super Bowl last year at the old Highmark Stadium and easy schedule and this, that, and other. But you got to remember at the end of the day that he's a human being too. And he makes mistakes. And I think he would fully admit, and he does, he always says it, I got to play better, whether he believes it or not. I do think he has to play better. Like he has to be Josh Allen and sometimes just unleash and take control of the game. And I feel like at times he doesn't, maybe he lets, and maybe it's not totally his fault because the coaches are the coaches, right? And he lets the coaches coach. Maybe he needs to take control and just say, no, we're not running that. We're audible and out of this, and we're going to run something different. And he's going to make the call at the line. And, they talk about how good he has been like with the mental side of it, right? And kind of processing the game and everything. And you saw that at the beginning of the year, especially. I think we've been missing a little bit of that in the last few games. So I would love to see a return of that. So I don't think this is the most off comment by any means, no. David. I think you're kind of spot on with it.
Definitely not.
Hate to say it.
Yeah, and then a couple good comments in a row with Sank and Trey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that was it's like the Gabe Kansas City game. It's the worst possible thing that could happen because I was never. I mean, I'm not just going to say, I'm the best and I have great takes all the time. But I was never happy with the everybody eats, the mantra that they were trying to put out as a team. Because, I mean, if you played football or you watch football for so long, that's literally what every team does. They want to feed everybody. They don't put an emphasis on everybody eats. Yeah, we got to, get your plate ready. If you're open, you get the ball. If you're good, you get the ball, right? Whether you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, other players get the ball on that team. But they still eat too. So it's like, I think it was a huge issue that it's sad to say, Allen winning MVP last year and us being 13-4 last year, being in the AFC Championship and being 2 plays away maybe from going to the Super Bowl was the worst possible thing, because now we felt we could do the same shit again this year and it's going to work the same exact way, and then we're going to be fine. And it's not that way. And then now we're just like, oh, well, we're not, but the players are like, oh wow, I don't know. I mean, they want it more. Winning isn't everything. I'm more than a football player, and it's like, I understand that. You guys are humans. You're great people, I'm sure. You are more than football players. But let's be honest, the reason they're able to be more than that to outside world, like donating to charities, donating to hospitals, being there for like less fortunate people, is because of football. If Allen was on his pistachio farm in California, no one would know who the heck he is.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have met Haley Steinfeld. He wouldn't be as rich as he is. He wouldn't be able to donate as much as he has to other people, and to help people and be just a great, even using his wealth to help other people. And I just feel like the whole attitude of, yeah, we're fine, we did good last year. I think it's failed us. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Good points here. The stats are misleading this year because the schedule is easier in 25 and it's turnovers returning to baseline. Yeah, 100%, Trey. Very good points.
Yeah.
Wump Donkey. I think the NFL Network said Josh had, we talked a little bit about this. He had 3.48 seconds in the pocket today. I might be a little off, but that's a crazy. Yeah, it is. Like, that's time to have dinner, essentially, in the NFL. If you're getting 3.5 seconds to throw the football, that's insane. 2.5 seconds is like elite. So 3.5 seconds is like, oh my gosh, like you better be, someone's got to get open, or you got to make a throw, or you got to run the football, or you got to do something. I mean, it's just insane. So yeah, credits to the O-line for being able to hold up for that long. That's insane.
Yeah. And a lot of, like, just to name a few, 3 years, however many million, was a 30 for Hoyt. He missed basically the entire year. He's going to miss most of next year. Palmer, 3 years, 36 million. Played a couple games, but missing every other game since then. Samuel had 3 years, 30-something million. Hasn't done anything. Benford got paid, hasn't done anything. Bernard got paid, hasn't done anything. Rousseau's been this is his best year, so I'll give him credit for that. But it's like, all this money that we put on these guys, and they haven't done anything. You could have got so many better people with that money. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore about it. There's so much wasted money. I didn't want to pay Bernard. I didn't want to pay Benford yet because they always get hurt. Not because for me, it wasn't their play. Like, I don't know if you remember our conversations before they got paid. I was like, pay Cook, and maybe I'd pay Rousseau first. I didn't really want to pay Rousseau because it was a lot of money, but I was willing to pay him over the other two because he wasn't getting hurt all the time. I said, pay Cook, Shakir, and Rousseau, and wait for the other two. Yeah. And then we didn't, and now they got hurt and they stink. So it's like all this money wasted. We could have got a great edge rusher. I mean, Bosa's good, but we could have got another one. We could have got another linebacker. We could have got another receiver that was better than Palmer and better than Samuel. But now we got to deal with it. We never have money. So another year next week, I guarantee we don't have any cap next year.
We really don't. We don't have much to play with.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, and Shrek's saying he can't believe the Jets have 3 first-round picks in 2027. I know, it's insane. They are building for the future. Comedian Mo Brown, yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Talking about how Josh is too much of a yes man. As a yes man myself, I can see signs for sure. Saying McDermott's no Dan Campbell. Saying McDermott is also not aggressive enough. Fair points. Steve, good to see you out there. Coming in late. The defense has 90% of the injuries. Why can't the offense sustain? As a very positive fan, the answer to our problems are in the booth. And it's not Tom Brady. I'm hot right now. Yeah, I feel your pain. Yeah, Joe Brady, just get back to the basics, man. Like, stop overcomplicating things. And, again, I'll say it. It's like you have to, I think with this team, just based on how we're structured and kind of what we've been dealt, because we didn't make any moves to acquire new players. Right now, this is the offense that we have, right? And outside of maybe activating one player such as Gabe Davis, nothing's really going to change as far as the personnel goes. So you have to play with what you have. And the good news is James Cook is an elite back, right? So how do you get this offense going? I mean, I just feel like there was a lack of an attempt to establish the line of scrimmage. I feel like when we did get stuffed, and I shout out to Benito Jones. I thought he had a nice day today for the Dolphins. We just didn't keep the Dolphins honest enough, and they were able to take advantage of that. And they gave us some different looks, I feel like, than what was anticipated. So there's some things I'm sure they'll see on the film, but this offense really is best when they are able to run the football, run a little play action, run some crossers, and scheme guys open in that sense, because as we know, we're really not beating anyone on the outside. So I know it's pretty simple and easy to say from my end, but it's the truth. Joe Brady has to go ASAP. Good to see you out there, Lee. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to the show. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe too, guys. We appreciate everyone out there. This is, unfortunately, our losses seem to be one of our more viewed shows. That's how it always seems to go. Everyone needs a little bit of therapy. Bernard is super small and always injured. Yeah, unfortunately, the best ability is availability. You can't just keep firing your offensive coordinator. I hear that. And that's the thing, too. It's like you want to have consistency, and I think there's something to be said about that. So maybe it is just altering things and how you run the offense, not overthinking things and just getting back to the basics, plain and simple. Starts at the top. The Pagulas resist change. Yeah. Do you think they're just okay with mediocrity, Sean? I mean, I know you've kind of preached this in the past, right?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of, especially thinking from their point of view, I don't blame them for not caring about if they win a Super Bowl or not, because he's a billionaire for a reason. He wants money.
Yep.
So if he's able to get butts in the seats, make people pay $18 for a beer, and we're always good, and we're always a playoff team, and they know our fan base isn't going to go away, they're going to be fine with it. And they formed a relationship with these two, with Bean and McDermott. And yeah, they're good enough. They're good. They both do good things. They both do bad things. But unless we have Josh Allen say, I don't want to deal with these guys anymore, we need change, or you can trade me, or or if we just miss the playoffs for a year or two, that'd be the only way I could see us moving on from this coaching regime. And not that they're bad. I know people say, "Oh, who are you going to get?" At the end of the day, Andy Reid got fired from the Eagles, and he's the best. You can say he's the top 3 coach of all time. He got fired from the Eagles. Then he won more Super Bowls. The Eagles had Super Bowls without him. So it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta make changes, and if things aren't working, it's the same shit every year and the same issues every year. No money every year, and that's the thing. We have no money, and then we never have more than 2 really good players. Even the bad teams, the Jets and the Dolphins have more star talent than we do, and they never won playoff games.
In terms of weapons, for sure.
We got the quarterback, but as far as besides offensive line, but people don't really look at them as stars. But everyone else, even these bad teams got more talent than we do, and it doesn't make any sense. So I think as long as they're making money, they're fine. I mean, that's the part of being an owner. They don't really, for every sport, even for baseball, my Nationals, everyone wants them to sell the team because the owners, they don't want to, because baseball is all about the owners' money. The owners don't want to spend their money on players. So after we won the World Series, we just been sucking, and they don't really care. So I get it.
There's the camp of I think before the season started, there were a lot of people in the camp of, let's just get through the regular season. I'm ready for the playoffs. Well, now we're in a situation where it's hey, these regular season games do matter. And I know a lot of people have kind of overlooked that thought. But you're always reminded of that coming into these shows, especially, so it's just something I just thought about. It's man, we're all ready to, jump off a cliff after a loss like this. And it's it just does remind you how much these regular season games do matter. Every game does. And that's the thing in the NFL. You drop one, now we're 2 games back in the division, so it's unfortunate, man. I hate it. It's absolute killer. And I can't stop thinking about it. It's almost like not real. You just didn't expect to have a 30-13 loss today, plain and simple.
Yeah. And there's a couple of Dolphins fans that popped in. Shout out to you guys. You guys should enjoy this. You deserve to enjoy it. And like you said, you guys can't tank, right? But you'll take a W over Buffalo. I hear that because we've been in similar situations, but it's weird because it's like you guys had a lot of good teams in the last few years, and we somehow always came on top. Now you got a team that's struggling, like you said, somewhat tanking, and then we lose. So it's just, I bet it's like, oh, why couldn't we do that 2 years ago to Buffalo? We win a division and stuff. So, but hey, you got a great win. You can enjoy this. You could talk crap for the whole rest of the year. You deserve it. But
you guys own it.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. There's another good comment up there. I forgot who said it. Let me try to. Oh, my scroller's not working.
I like what Steve said. How can
that's what I was looking at.
60+ catch seasons on bad teams? Yeah, I mean Elijah Moore with the Browns was killing it, and he played both outside and inside. Steve, I think someone had a question about that. Can Elijah Moore play on the outside? Maybe it was Trey earlier on. Yes, he can.
This is what I'm saying, because it's like I wasn't, and you guys remember when Samuel came and everyone was hyped on him. I said, well, yeah, he had a bad quarterback, but I don't think it's the same situation. But it comes to a point where it's like the drop-off is so significant. It can't just be because we're going to have a different offense. Like, if you can't get any of these guys involved except for, like, behind the line of scrimmage, like, I think Elijah Moore caught 2 balls, and, like, they were both, like, catch and throw. Like, I don't even – like, you don't even give him an opportunity to be the type of player he is. I saw him make huge plays in Cleveland with friggin' Joe Flacco. Horrible offensive line, Joe Flacco, and no weapons. It was like him and Judy. And it's like you see around the league all these teams with bad players that can just ball out. And again, I don't know what their playbook is because we're never going to know it. We just see what they run. I don't know. I only pay attention to the trenches, but now when I do all 22, I might have to just look at every play even more times and see, is Allen moving off his reads too quick? Are these guys actually getting open and he's just moving off them too fast, and by the time he goes back, they're not open? But yeah, it needs to be, it's a huge question mark where it needs, needs to be talked about. Or Brady
there
needs
you go, by the way.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore right there. Breaks it down by snap count. As you can see, he's kind of played all over the place. This was last year in Cleveland, 2024. Unreal, man. I mean, he's a weapon. He's a second-round pick, nearly a first-round pick. And I just feel like he has really not been tapped into outside of using him as the reverse guy or the jet sweep guy in the worst possible time, too. Every single time it happens, it goes for a loss or, it's just awful. We got to throw that out of the playbook. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Did it again. And Steve, we appreciate your comment here, but you don't ever have to apologize. I'm extremely angry still, but it's been so long after that it's just like because for like 3 or 4 hours afterwards, my face was as red as a tomato, my ears were burning. I didn't even want to move. It was just there's so many things I want to say, and it's just I forget them sometimes because I'm so angry. But yeah, a lot of especially that comment about these guys getting 60+ catches on bad teams. It doesn't make sense to me how we just can't get anybody really going. It's like once in a blue moon, or like Kincaid gets going, then he gets hurt again. Like, oh, his oblique hurt, so his knee hurt, so now he's got a hamstring injury. Like, now what are we going to do? Now you don't got Kincaid for God knows how. He's definitely not playing these next 2 games because it's Sunday and Thursday. He's probably not playing those 2 games. Palmer's probably coming back, but are we gonna use him well? I know he wasn't great and amazing in LA, but you got to be able to scheme these guys open. I don't care anymore. Like, run crosses every time. Like, the way you set things up.
Mesh.
Make it so somebody's open. I don't even care at this point if you don't even go through reads. Okay, this guy's going to be open on this play. We're just going to throw it to him. And if he's not open, throw it away. If you keep going too fast and you're not utilizing your great protection anyway, just design plays. Okay, this play is going to go to Moore's going to streak open at the 40-yard line right here. I'm just going to hit him. I'm going to throw it before he even gets there. And then just do that. And if it doesn't work, whatever. But you got to do something different. These guys aren't trash. Like, they're not the best receiving core, but they're not bad enough where they can't ever get open with 3.5 seconds of time to throw the football.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the not so much the receivers, but the tight ends. Last week we saw a real effort to get all of the tight ends involved. And, in this game in particular, we went to Kincaid twice. He caught 2 for 37 and big plays, both of them, but he goes out in this game with a hamstring injury. And I really think that hindered our offense. I mean, it's pretty obvious to say, but what that did to our offense today just absolutely killed any type of momentum we seem to have going up until, towards the end in the fourth quarter, where we're just running scramble drill and chucking up prayers, basically, right? Yeah. So to me, if you can't win on the outside, maybe you have to look inward, right? You can use your tight ends and be creative with them. I think we have the 3 best tight ends. In terms of the tight end room, I think it's one of the better ones in football right now, And I know people are easy to criticize Dawson Knox and, how we've overpaid for him, but it's like, why don't you use him a little more too? I mean, he seemed to be making some catches today. Jackson Hawes caught a touchdown, 26 yards.
Yeah. Well, now we can't say we're undefeated when Hawes catches a pass. So
I know, I hate that. Yeah, we were 5-0 with him catching a pass.
We went to Knox on the interception too, but I don't know.
So he was actually. I looked at that play, and it looked like he was actually looking for Shavers in the back of the end zone because he won his one-on-one matchup. So if you go back and look at that play, I don't know if I can even pull it up, but it looked like he was initially going for Knox, and there was a miscommunication. But I think Allen even mentioned he had seen Shavers get free and win his matchup, and he was in the back of the end zone on that play.
I wish you didn't tell me that, because that's even worse now, because I was like, oh, maybe he was looking for Knox and he just sailed it a little bit. But if his entire receiver was Shavers in the back of the end zone, that wasn't even close. But yeah, I mean, it's – I don't even know what to say. One thing I wanted to say before we even started was I wish I never even liked sports. I wish I was never an athlete, because I started thinking about, I was like, if I just played video games, had my family, and then had my business, I don't think I'd ever be mad, ever. But for the sake of football, basketball, baseball, hockey, bowling, like if you don't win the championship, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be annoyed, you're gonna be pissed off. So it's like, why did I even have to want to play sports? Why was I an athlete my whole life? Why do I love this so much? But yeah, it's a shame, because
it's madness, dude.
We got players, and then they get hurt, and then we just and running the football, like, yeah, Cook only got 13 carries, but like, honestly, like, that whole fourth quarter we couldn't run. Like, we weren't able to, because we had to pass. And when we did run, he had a couple good runs, then got taken away with a fumble. I want to say there was like a holding call on one of them that was bullshit. It would have been a pass play. I don't remember, but the one where they called it on Brown, where the guy fell and pushed his hands down his back, that's not a holding.
I hate that. I hate that they actually even call that now.
If he grabbed him, yes. But if he fell and you push him, that's not a hold. So
I remember Dawkins got called on that a few times last year too, and it's like, that's what you're taught as an offensive lineman. You just fall on them. Like, that's insane. Stupid calls. Yeah, Torre, I see you, man. We passed on McConkey. It does make me question everything. God, I think a lot of people were skeptical with McConkey because of the injury history and whatnot, but it's like, when you look at his production in college, it's basically the same as what Coleman's was anyways. And you look at the actual player themselves, and he would have been a more equipped player for this offense than Coleman, based on how we're utilizing him. It's just unfortunate, man. Hate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just rinse and repeat, man. Yeah, and I don't want to keep complaining, because I'm not the negative guy. And I try to put things into perspective, and I try to keep a calm, open mind, right? But it is hard, man. Like, you sit there and it's like, we put so much time and effort in covering this team and like trying to figure out the rhyme or reason with certain things. And we see this stallion of a quarterback with this team around him and how things are just not clicking. And it is beyond frustrating, and you just can't figure it out. I mean, maybe we can. And I think kind of what we've talked about, just getting back to the basics would help, but time will tell, man.
Yeah, there's still a ton of football left. Like, obviously, like I said, you lose the way you did to a team like that, it's going to make you think the worst. And obviously they played a great game. I know Dolphin 53870 said that they won the line of scrimmage. I wouldn't necessarily say that because I thought pass protection we dominated. The run game, I don't even know if that was really just pass protect or run blocking. It could have been receivers not blocking well. It could have been tight ends not blocking well. I want to go watch it tomorrow, but regardless, you won the game.
Shout out to Benito Jones. I do think he had a really nice day today on the interior there.
I just think it was more like when I think of that loss, I wasn't thinking of line of scrimmage. I was thinking of offense not being able to pass the ball. I was thinking of when we moved the ball, they couldn't hold on to the football. So I would just say it was more of like your secondary players making great plays. The 2 forced fumbles and then the shitty throw by Allen that was intercepted. That wasn't line of scrimmage stuff. That was you guys making great plays. So, but yeah, regardless, it didn't matter if we won a line of scrimmage or not because we lost the game. But yes, Matt Collins is doing good.
He was a turnover machine. 2 more picks than Mahomes. They destroyed the pass game for the run. McDermott made our Maserati a Volkswagen. Oh, I hate it. It does feel like he's been neutered in some ways.
Yeah, but to be fair, like years ago when we had that great pass offense, we could never run the ball. And then we always saying, "Oh, we need to run the ball in the playoffs," and we're too one-dimensional. So when McDermott says we need to be two-dimensional, I absolutely agree. Now, I think, and then a lot of people say that McDermott's telling Brady to do this shit. What I think happened was McDermott gave Brady the freedom to do what he wanted, and then because Brady wanted to do like balance attack, McDermott was on board with it. But you see McDermott now, he's like, there's no excuse why we can't pass the ball with Josh Allen. He's not saying like, I just want to run the ball every time. You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with, especially with how good James Cook is, how great the offensive line is.
For sure.
I don't give a damn about running the football 50% of the time anymore. Now, before I didn't like it because we kept giving it to Davis and Ty Johnson, and Cook would get 7 carries a game. But now that they're established and they're one of the best run game in the league, I'm fine with it. But now, if you can't do anything, even when you have great things happening, can't get guys to football, and then when you're down too far, you can't run well. It's a shame.
It is a shame, especially against the cornerback room that the Dolphins had today. Again, I'll mention that. I mean, no offense to Ethan Bonner, but what are we doing? I mean, shoot. Was this the case where Keon Coleman had caught a pass or something? McDaniel benched Bonner for someone else. Someone else came. I forget who it was. One of the other guys came in.
No, I think Bonner came in for an injury, but they were already
that's right.
They were already severely. They've been severely injured in the secondary since preseason. So,
but is that the ultimate disrespect? It's like you're benching a guy because Keon Coleman caught a pass on you.
Yeah, probably.
Man,
I mean,
it's tough. I love Keon, man. It hurts me to even talk down on him because I want him to be good. I want him to be so good, and I think there's still an opportunity. But as a complimentary guy, I don't think he's a true X or anything like that. He's never going to be that guy. And
I would have took
the sooner we come
else.
to that realization, the better.
Yeah, I would have took anybody else that draft. And the only time I said, I mean, not that I think Keon can be good because he does get open a lot on the film when he's just not getting the ball to him. That's maybe because by the time he was open, Allen didn't throw him the football. But
yeah,
I thought if you still had Diggs, then Keon was a good pick because he's going to be a 4th option. He could still make some plays, could be beneficial to you, but you didn't have Diggs, you didn't have Davis, and you just had Shakir and Coleman. So, it's like, and the thing about Matt Collins I brought up in the Discord, like joking around, but also not. Like, he was a role. He's a role player. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not even great, but he's a good special teamer, and he loves to block. And if he gets the ball, he does something with it. Now Keon, like people are saying in the chat, like he seems like he's dogging it. He's lazy. You can see that too. I don't think he was fine with blocking last year because he's a rookie, but I don't think he likes that anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's like having George Pickens out there. George Pickens doesn't even block. He just stands there and then maybe gets in a fight. But yeah, it's if you're gonna run an offense like this where nobody's a feature, you got to find guys like Matt Collins who love getting dirty and blocking the crap out of someone.
Yeah, I want some football players out there. Maybe bring Gabe Davis back up, brother. He likes to block.
Well, I got no choice at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you together. Yeah, it was pretty evident today because he cooked us. He did. 5 for 84 and a tud. Was that right? Something like that?
And whether we won the Super Bowl or not, at least would have won this game if we had Waddle.
Yeah, 100%.
It took him. And that's the thing. They didn't even have Tyreek Hill today. They were missing a ton of people, and we did worse than when they had all those guys.
That's the crazy part. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you probably want to wrap it up soon, but Sank also said, why is the special team so below average? That's the thing. Like we put all this emphasis on it, and we keep guys because of special teams, and we say, oh, we got to keep Solomon active because he's such a good special teamer. But like, is he? Nope. The only person that really sticks out to me on special teams is that dude. I don't even know his name. The safety, Sam
Franklin.
Sam
Franklin.
He's the only one that ever sticks out to me. Nobody.
Yeah.
No one else in that special teams does anything forever. Like I never noticed anybody. We have horrible coverage. We have horrible return. We got Shakir back there just catching the ball, not doing anything with it. If you're going to do that, put Samuel back there. He doesn't do anything on offense anyway. Shakir's just trying to be careful with the ball. You're basically giving up on every punt return.
Yeah.
Like he might return it for a couple yards, but he's not trying to. He doesn't want to. He wants to catch it, and that's it. So special teams, and also another thing this reminded me. Every time we got good field position, flag. So Ray Davis gets like a 50-yard kick return, flag. Maxwell Harrison gets an interception at the 35, flag. You're back at the 10.
You could count on it. I know that was a killer too. Yeah, that was awful.
So God. It's like it basically doesn't even matter that you got the pick because now you got to go 90 friggin' yards.
Yep.
So it's like everything's bad.
I know. I know. You just got to throw this one out, man. It's just it's one of those. You know what I do wonder? I wish Weston was in the chat. I don't know if Weston joined us tonight, but I hate to always have to compare us to the Chiefs, but essentially that's the team we have to compare ourselves to because they've won Super Bowls, and that's the team we have to get over the hump with, right? So I wonder if at any point during their latest 2 Super Bowl runs, where they lost to the Raiders on like Christmas 2 years ago, did they feel like it was all over at that point? Like, what did they do? And I know their coaching obviously is a little more elite than ours, but I wonder how their fan base reacted. Like, was it like us after each loss where we dissect and we're like, this just ain't the team. Like, let's mail it in. Not necessarily mail it in, but like basically counting on a first round out or a divisional round out. Like, I wonder if they reacted the same way or if they're like, we're just going to weather the storm, throw this one out and get on to the next one.
Well, I could say that if we didn't lose to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Didn't lose to the Patriots. I mean, losing to the Patriots is different, but the way you lost, like turn the ball over 3 times, Drake didn't even have a touchdown, and you lost to him. So it's like
ugly games.
I'd be able to get over this and be like, yeah, it's just a game. It's just one game, but it's like this is at least the third instance of this happening in a loss. Now, we've had bad games when we won as well for parts of the game, but there's a lot of soul searching they got to do. Sure, they got the talent to run up, win 11, 12 games, 13 games, if they're lucky. But when it may be a playoff game or two, but after this game, they really got to start proving to the fan base. Like, I never tell people what to think or how to think, but I'm not going to get mad at someone if they think either we're going to miss the playoffs or going to be a first round exit. You have every right to think that the way we've been playing. But if you can go out and beat Tampa and beat Houston. I know Houston's 4-5, but they got a great defense. If you can go out there and beat them, you're 8-3. It changes things, but it's just like any other sport, any other game, any other thing in life. You can't be perfect at it. You don't bring your best stuff, and someone else does. You're not going to come out on top. And you can put that in any aspect of life. Job promotion, stuff at school where you got to do a presentation. If you don't bring your A game, you're going to get a bad grade. Me, I got my bowling league tomorrow. If I don't have my best stuff, I'm not gonna. If I miss my mark by a board or two, I'm not gonna get the strike that I want. You can really put that with anything,
Yeah, and I think it's just. I used to get so annoyed by it because it's like I was one of those guys. I still kind of am, where like I feel like I've earned this in a way, and I know I'm kind of gatekeeping a little bit, but it's because I grinded through that whole drought era, right? Where I'm like, I mean, I used to like the highlight of my week was watching Hanging 10 with Jabron Hamden, right? And I remember those days and I appreciate where we are now. But you have to have a standard now because it's been 5 years where we just have not gotten it done. And you have to have a perspective of now. It's okay to have those expectations. If you don't have those expectations, what are we even doing here? I had those expectations when we were a drought era team. So why is it like right now, because we are this elite team, like it's okay to criticize this team and to be pissed off that we're not reaching and getting a Lombardi.
Yeah.
So I am not in that camp anymore. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to vow not to be that guy. Because you have every right to be pissed off, for sure.
And as dumb as it is to say, it almost like when we were bad, it was more fun.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
It's like because you're bad, and it's like if you win 9 games, you felt good. If you win 7 games, you're like, okay, maybe next year, and But now it's like when you're so damn good, and then you don't do anything, it's like that everybody hates you. Everyone on the internet makes fun of your team, makes fun of your players. Everyone hates you because your team gets love and you didn't win anything. And if someone's like, I miss when we suck. Like, not really, but it's like,
yeah,
I never want to suck.
I know what you mean, though.
I never want to suck again, but it's like when we were bad, people pitied us. People said, you guys deserve to be good. You guys deserve a championship. And now when we became good, everyone's like, yeah, you guys talk too much. You guys think you're too good. Never going to win anything. So it's just like, yeah, it's even more fun because we're a better team, but it's the same result in the end. And I never want to be bad again. Let me just make that clear. But I just remember those days where it was just chill. You went and enjoyed football, even if you lost and nobody cared, nobody said anything bad to you or your team, and you're just like, okay, we'll be good.
But like you guys play so hard, though, and it was empathy. Now it's like shit. We have a target. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like now, and then now you see like because Lamar did really good against the Dolphins, and then you see I don't even follow these pages. They just pop up because I follow sports. It says, oh, yeah, I thought the Dolphins just sucked. How come Josh Allen sucked against the Dolphins? And it's like just to boost up Lamar. It's like, well, this is how it goes, and that's why it's like super, super annoying. Like just going on social media. So you can't just lose. Oh yeah, everyone loses. You can't just lose a game, be mad about it, and move on. It's like, yeah, Allen sucks. Yeah, the Bills are never going to win a Lombardi. Yeah, they're never going to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. Yeah, it's just really annoying. Yeah. But as much as I'm mad and annoyed, I'll leave it off with this for me. Technically, it feels like the season's over, but it's definitely not. At the same time, you saw an old Giants team that was 8-8 twice. Maybe they were 9-7 one of the times. Go on the road every playoff game, get to a Super Bowl, and win both of them. So get it right. You have what? We have 8 games to get it. We have 8 games to get it right.
8 games,
before,
8 games
before playoffs. Get it right by then. And here's the best part: we might be 12-5 and get a 5 seed, and then all of a sudden maybe the Steelers win a division, and then we always smoke the Steelers in the playoffs. You beat the Steelers, and you get the Patriots got the 2 seed. You get to play the Patriots, right? And then you beat the Patriots in Foxborough, which isn't a thing that couldn't happen. And then you're in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs, or or the Colts. And all of a sudden you win the Super. Like anything can happen. So it sucks now. It feels like it's over now. Feel that way because I feel that way a little bit too. Like play like that, you might not even beat the Browns, but we got to take it a week at a time. Be angry about this. Be pissed off about this. As fans, we should let our feelings be known. Hopefully, it gets to the people that it matters to, and things change. But I think these next two games can say a lot.
I love this. Here we go. Patriots
Yeah.
own, y'all. Here we go. I love it.
Technically, they own
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean, we can't say otherwise. We can't. Unfortunately, it sucks. It kills.
And the team, the franchise, I'll say yeah, but this era, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 5 years, absolutely not.
And again, I don't count last year, week 18, when we had our backup saying you guys beat us, and yeah, that Mac Jones game where he threw 3 passes, that was a game you guys won, and then there's maybe one other one that wasn't Tom Brady. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, you guys been the toughest opponent for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Let's be honest, technically own the whole AFC East because you got all the Super Bowls and more division titles than anybody. So
yeah,
I will say that. Nice. But you know what? I'm going to say what everybody tells me about Kansas City. Beat us when it matters. Because the last time I checked, I don't even know the Patriots ever beat the Bills in the playoffs in my lifetime. So
no, we really didn't have a chance to meet in the playoffs though either. To his credit, right?
17 years without making it, and then we only played one time since then. I mean, technically, my little funny
in the Allen era. In the Allen era, fair enough.
Well, let's just say since my life. I mean, I was born in '95. I don't even think we made the playoffs up until '99.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I'm gonna say beat us when it matters.
Here we go. Have been a Pro Bowler and now an elite steak cook, number 2 in the world. It takes a lot of work. As a fan, we don't see the work and judge unfairly. I am guilty. That's all right, Steve. Hey, that's why we're here for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But, Steve's like top tier, brother. Nice. I want to get him on the show here. I know Mike's been working in the background to potentially set something up. We got to get some lessons on how to cook the proper steak.
Yeah, well, I'd love to talk more bowling with you. It's I was always a really good bowler. In high school, I was like 217 average. And one of my leagues when I was in the Army, I was like closer to 220. It was like 219, maybe 218. But now I'm in a league, and this is the longest I've gone where I can't continuously be as good as I usually am. I'm like not consistent at all. Like I do all my adjustments. I have different balls that I can switch to. I know what I'm doing, and I can't get consistent. I had a 714 series 3 weeks ago, and I've been 550, 560, 540. I'm just like, I mean, we're winning the matchups most of the time, but this has been frustrating because usually it's like I have a bad week or two, and then I'm back to normal. But it's been like 7 weeks where I'm just way below my standards. So, and of course, Bills lose, not doing my best bowling.
Brutal,
man. But
correlation, causation.
Yeah, it happens. The best advice I ever got was from my old bowling coach. I think he did a little bit of time on the tour as well. But he said, the last frame doesn't matter whether you got a strike or a spare. So each frame is a game. So I will hope the Buffalo Bills take it every play is the next game because you got to flush it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Y'all would have lost against Brady. I mean, yeah, probably.
I think we would have got him a couple times with this regime if he was still on the Patriots. Obviously if he's not 45
yeah, I think
years
so.
old.
I think so.
I think
maybe a split.
Because Allen improved dramatically every year. I think eventually we would have maybe won 1 or 2 or here and there. But yeah.
Dolphin, give me your favorite give me your top 5 Dolphins of all time. I want to hear them. Very curious to know. I want to see how in-depth of a fan you are. Because I can give you a quiz probably. You wouldn't know a lot of the trivia I'd be throwing at you. I'm just saying.
Well, to be
toot
fair,
my own
Jake,
horn.
you know more trivia than anybody. But
No, I'm just a psychopath, and I have too much time on my
yeah,
hands.
but yeah,
I love it. No, curious though. Honestly, curious about it.
we went over the hour. I know we could probably talk for 5 more, but
Yeah, I
like,
love this too. I'm so damn old that I was in a league with Bob Learn Jr., Rob Palumbi, and Ryan Schaefer. I don't
wow.
really know those names too well, Steve. I gotta enlighten myself on some
That
bowling
goes to
lore.
show how
There you
long.
go.
But
See, I love it. You're not old. You're still a young soul at our in our
and
hearts.
Steve, how do you feel about the urethane ball, the Purple Hammer? I think they got rid of it on tour. I don't think they're allowed to use it now. But yeah, it's I still love bowling. It's awesome, but damn, is it frustrating.
It's tough.
So,
It's tough when you have to resort to talking about bowling after a Bills
yeah.
game just to make
I didn't even
yourself
know
feel
Steve
a
was a
little bit
bowler.
better.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
No, that is awesome. Yeah. I
But yeah,
remember him
definitely
talking about that earlier. Yeah.
we'll have to talk more. But
Marino's one of them. Okay, so my favorite of all time. Um, I mean, I love Zach Thomas. Don't get me wrong. This is, I think, I love Randy McMichael. I was a big Randy McMichael guy. I liked Brock Marion when he was there. He was solid, good player. A couple other guys I'm trying to think of. Just some of the old, like early 2000s guys. There's some great names though. I don't want to stay Zach Thomas isn't obvious, but good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, good game to you guys again. Credit where credit's due to the Dolphins. I think you guys, Pat Surtain, good name, love it.
yeah, I will say if my team was in that position and we beat a rival that has been giving it to us for a while, I'd be damn happy. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the season might not be what you thought it would be, but hey, you might keep us from winning the division. Might keep us from the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So now you can do that for the Patriots too, though. You could beat the Patriots and then help us out a little bit, and then get another win against a division rival. But
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, Steve. There's a lot
Chris Chambers.
There's a lot of no thumb bowlers now too. Ton of them, and they just destroy the lanes because I got 2 guys on my team that throw one two-handed or with no thumb, and man, they just rip the crap out of that oil. And then when I throw my shot, it's like it changes every frame, and I don't even know how to adjust anymore. But
that's crazy. Yeah, the no thumb, I can't figure that out.
Yeah, well, they got 2 fingers in, and then they have their other hand on the ball and they twist it. There's a lot of ways that they can do it, but I wouldn't even ever want to even get into that. To me, that's not.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
No, it's not. Dolphin, Cleo Lemon, Ray Lucas, Tyler Thigpen, Chad Henne, John Beck, Chad Pennington. There's some names for you.
All right.
Absolutely love it. I know. Yeah, let's end on that note, honestly. Tough day. Tough day. Let's throw this one right in the trash. We appreciate everyone that joined us in the chat here. This was, a lot of action. We appreciate everyone out there. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We do the show post-game after every Bills game, and we really enjoy it. And, up until next week, we're going to be thinking about this one. It hurts a lot. It stings. But we will get through it. We will prevail. As long as we have Josh Allen, our window's always open. I'm going to end it that way. I know. It's crazy to say.
He said the same thing when you start talking about bowling.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, you guys have a great night. Thank you all for joining us. As always, go Bills.
Go Bills.